So I got a little bit right in here to add some filler, and you can see how it just doesn't sand out perfect, and there's a little sanded too much right there, and you can see here, so I'm going to add a little filler right in there too. This looks pretty good and everything else looks pretty good. So I'm going to finish that up. I got some filler there to mix up and we'll get it on. This is the next coat. This is directly over the Duraglass, and I'm going to let that dry a while. It started raining big raindrops on me while I was working out there. I had to hurry up and drag it into the garage, and then it stopped raining. It rained like maybe 10 huge raindrops, and that was it. I now have the bodywork completely done on the door. It all feels really good, and I just can't prime or do anything out here. As you can see, my neighbor's oak tree is shedding its seeds or flowers or whatever. They're just everywhere. So anyway, I'm gonna set this in the garage, and then I'm gonna put some sandable primer on all this stuff so I can give it a good sanding out with some 400 and see how it looks, and then we'll get it ready to red oxide. And actually I'm going to paint the jamb here and the jamb of the car first, and I think tomorrow I'm going to sand the jamb out and start masking things off. That is the current temperature in the garage, and it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and this is the current temperature outside. It says it's right on 90, it looks like. So yeah, I got the door ready to paint. I'm gonna sand the jamb out. I gotta clean the car off. It's starting to get covered in dust. I want to sand the jamb out, and then I'm gonna start masking so I can paint the jamb, and maybe the cowl there. I got to strip the paint off that. I'm going to get some paint stripper on it here shortly. Door came out really nice, really happy with it. Another thing too is I'm going to be doing the rest of my painting in here, as I didn't make the season no flowers or pollen. I cleaned that all up yesterday evening, and the pollen was like a fog in the air when I was running the little blower cleaning it up. And I had a pile that filled off paper bag about half full. So yeah, it's not, painting outside isn't going to happen now. So if any of you from the Detroit area, you get these cruis'news, and they tell you all the goings on in the state. It's all, everything in it's car related, the events, cruises, everything. It's stories. It's been a great magazine. I've been subscribed to them since I think they started, and kind of, all kinds of interesting stories about particular cars. The Bel Air's been in here, I don't know, two or three times over the years. And anyway, it's an interesting magazine. So I usually would buy my subscriptions 3 years in advance. You get a better deal if you bought them for 3 years as opposed to a year or two, and 3 was the most they did them. And every year at the Autorama I always bought an extra year, which I did again this year. And this was the last cruis'news I received. It was the April 2020 issue. And now let me show you this. And you can just pause it, but basically, yeah, because of the coronavirus, they had to close up. They ran out of money and they're gone. So I'm going to have to find out some other way of figuring out. Hopefully somebody will come up with another publication like this or something, because this has just been an amazing publication for things going on in Southeast Michigan, even Ohio, actually all over. I mean, you can kind of, most of the stuff's happened already because this is the April, but most of it's been canceled too. In fact, all of it's been canceled. All these events were canceled because of coronavirus. And but you know, just kind of sad to see this thing, you know, a really good magazine go. So yeah, really sad. I'm not happy about that. That was my like Bible of what was going on car wise related, and a lot of other people too. So I just wanted to add that to this video. I soaked my body filler spreaders in a jar of lacquer thinner to clean them off, and I just took them all out and wiped them off. You only need to soak them like overnight, but I just stuff them in there, and then when I run out of them or when I need more, I take them. But look at this, does that show up? Made in USA. These 4, I've had them for as long as I can remember, so actually all 4 say made in USA. These are the new style. They just say Mars, and they don't say where they're made, but we can probably all have a pretty good guess of where they're made. But yeah, so I put these away and save them for the next job. Well, I got the door jamb all sanded out and it's ready to spray, and I'm going to paint all the way to the wire channel. I'm going to paint, you know, probably to about here, so I'll have to pull this carpet back and tape it, and everything's really clean in this car. It's, you know, I cleaned up, just wiped there, and look at that, that looks like brand new paint. I don't want to damage the carpet. I want to try and reuse it, so I'm not going to peel it back too far. But this is definitely ready for paint. It's all sanded. I'm going to paint it right to this, you know, this edge right here, and I think it's going to look really good. So tomorrow I'm going to mask. You know, I got a lot of fiddly. Oh, and there's a date code, but I think it's a mirror image of it. It's stamped to the other side. That's actually a 6A, looks like a 5, a C, a 4 maybe, a 3, a D. I'm just guessing, kind of, just from what I can gather from where I sanded. And the door obviously is ready to, I'm just going to leave this primed just as it is, and I'll red oxide it after this side's painted. The reason why I primed, you know, I always left this bare metal and other things, well, it was, you know, it was still kind of cool with low humidity, so nothing surface rusted. The humidity was, you know, 30-40%. Now it's like 80% and 90 degrees out, so yeah, this will surface rust in a couple of days. So that's why I just kind of gave the whole thing a quick, that sandable primer, I put on 3 coats where the filler is and 1 coat everywhere else, just to protect it. And I zinc chromated all the edges and down this, you know, all the sharp corners and edges first, because as you remember, there was little marks where the molding came, like little rust pits, and I used that acid stuff on them. I thought it was sitting right there, but I don't know where I set it. I was going to show you, but I've showed it in past videos, and so I think that it's gonna hopefully turn out pretty good here. And so after I get the jamb painted and the jamb painted, I'm gonna sand the trunk lid, wet 400 sand it, get that primed and ready to block, so I can paint the trunk lid and the door at the same time. And I think tomorrow, if I have time after or maybe before I start masking, I'll get some paint stripper on this. In fact, I'm going to set it out right now so I don't forget. And then maybe I can get the paint off with the pressure washer, seeing it's hot out. But I want to get that, paint this with the door jamb gun. There's these smaller components like that where you got to get into nooks and crannies. Just come out a heck of a lot better when you use a little gun on them. So that's going to get painted door jamb color when I paint this and that. And the door jamb is a perfect match to the body, so I'm not worried about a mismatch. And I think right now, I don't know if you can see, there's an area where it got brushed. Anyway, it's really dusty, the car. Really dusty. The front clip and front metal hasn't been cleaned in, God, since it's been painted. So I'm gonna go over it with get a bucket of water with a wet, with a wrung out chamois and a sponge, and I'm gonna wipe the whole car down. So when I mask it, I'm gonna drag that plastic over it after I tape out what I want masked here, and then the whole car will be covered, because I cannot, there's no way I can paint or prime or do anything outdoors right now. This has become an indoor project, and it's supposed to be hot for the next few days, and I don't like painting in 90-degree weather or high humid weather. So that's kind of why I've been slacking a little bit. I'm going to tomorrow's supposed to be another 90-degree day. We've had like 3 in a row now, so I'm going to try and get this mask maybe later in the week or towards the weekend. They're talking 70s. My ideal temperature I like to paint is about 60, between 60 and 65. That's my favorite temperature, because you don't have bugs, and in the spring or the late fall, you don't have pollen or seeds or flowers or things that like to stick and paint if you paint outdoors. Well, I'm painting indoors, but still don't want bugs or pollen in it, which will be in the air. And so I'm going to do my best to try and get a good paint job, and I'm going to hang the trunk lid when I paint it, so that'll help on stuff falling into it gravity wise. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. I just thought, I'd do up a video, and then after I get that back on the car and everything lined up, I think I'm going to start working on the top frame, change the cylinders, get that other header painted, get this all painted up, start cleaning the upholstery. I ordered 3 or 4 yards, I think 4 yards of black vinyl, so I can make a new, that part that the top folds down into, save some money on labor. If I pay to have the top done, I can save some money by doing that myself. And I'm going to replace this vinyl here with that same vinyl. And I don't know if this is the glassine rear window and that pocket that sit down in there, sitting there. And I got to finish stripping that so I can paint that silver. That's no big deal. I just want to get the body color done ASAP. I think, like I say, if we get a little bit of cool down, I'm going to go nuts painting, and rather paint it, like I say, on a cool day than a hot day. So that's kind of where I'm at on this ride right now. Just gotta kind of clean it up. But yeah, this, you can still see it doesn't look good. It doesn't look as bad as it did, but it still doesn't look pretty. So I'm just gonna wet sand 400 the trunk lid out really good, maybe over, really good. Maybe if I get down closer to the sealer or something. And then, I don't like having thick paint, so that's kind of where we're at. So I just get a sponge, a chamois, get them both good and wet, wring the chamois out and the sponge. I'll do the sponge first, and I just wipe the body down. I'm going to clean in the jambs and everything. And I do this, a little section at a time. And you can do this just as summer cleanups if you get bugs, dead bugs or, stuff on your paint that just a California car duster won't clean off. Or tree sap, you can just do this, with your wet sponge. Take your chamois and wring it out, which I can't do with the camera running, so I'm going to stop it here for a moment. And I take my chamois and just nicely dry it off. Well, it takes all the water and everything off and leaves it nice and shiny looking. I'm going to wipe out in the jambs there. And I do this to the Bel Air, as opposed to getting the garden hose out and washing it. I've done this to all my old cars, if I don't need to get the garden, if they haven't been driven in the rain, then that's all you need to do to really clean them up, if you don't just dust them off the California duster. So I'll do the whole car, and then I'll make the video of the car done. That looks a lot better. I even wiped the dashboard off. I took the sheet off the seat and took it out and shook it off too. That was this way when I dragged the plastic over the car, you know, all that fine dust won't act like an abrasive and scratch everything up, and you know, keep it looking a little nicer. Just take a walk around the car here. I even did the trunk lid so when I go to sand it, if there's any grit on it, it doesn't cause deeper scratches. So I cleaned it up with some with the water too. I'll show you the water, how nasty it gets from doing this. You know, I mean, it really cleans it up. And then you stir it up, it really it's been sitting for a while. But yeah, it's pretty nasty. So that was all on the car. I even did a little wipe down under the hood, just kind of get some of the dust and stuff out from underneath in the engine compartment. It's all going to need a good washing when I'm done. I'll just take the garden hose, not the pressure washer, just the garden hose with the squirt nozzle, and wash the whole car down really good. Engine, undercarriage, everything when it's finished. That's it for this video. I'm going to call it a day. I might just polish this a little bit up right here and then call it a day. But anyway, I'm going to end this video. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see this car all fixed up, the dash all redone, new padding and everything all painted up, subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.